Today, we bring you our recap of the 2021 season in the AFC West. After we discuss that, of course, we will be bringing you the big, because there's been a lot of moving and shaking in this division. So we will definitely be bringing that to you right now. Hello and welcome to another Wednesday. Today, April 6th. We are bringing you the AFC West, rounding up from 2021. And of course, we're going to be bringing you some of the big free agency from this division because it has been interesting here. Thank you for joining us on Through the Table on FTB Sports. Appreciate all the support we get. We love you. And let me bring in my co-host, Donnie Shoemaker.
What's up, Reid?
How are you doing?
Good, man. It's been a good week. I'm interested in
beautiful.
talking about this division. I think it's going to be a good one this year.
This is a division like I have been kind of waiting to discuss. I mean, 2021 from this division was kind of a letdown because, like, the Chargers, they look like, hey, they made some moves. I thought they were a for sure playoff team.
They got gypped right at the end, or not gypped.
Gypped.
It was their fault.
They lost it on the way in.
I know, man. Okay, I'm saying I'm a Herbert fan, so like I think they're a very good team, and I think he has a lot of years in him. But yeah, you didn't get gypped. You lost the last game that you needed. Really, you shouldn't even be in that situation where it's the last game or you're out. I just say that just because I wanted them in. It's biased. Yeah, that's all it is.
I mean, I wanted them in too mostly because, hey, I picked them to make the playoffs, so I wanted them to make it. Plus, they got a good, exciting team.
They do.
It's a team, I think, if you're a Charger fan, you are really, really excited about. The season probably up and down, but I mean, something tells me if you told Charger fan this at the beginning of the season, I think they would have been okay with it.
I think I'm sorry, my mom texted me, so I was looking at that. I apologize. I'm trying to be blank on that. I think going into this season as a Charger fan, what were your hopes? You have this quarterback, you recently lost Philly Rivers, and that's kind of heartbreaking, even though that they never really got there. I think Philip Rivers will always be one of those quarterbacks that I don't want to say underachieved, but never got the just dues he deserved, man. He was a great quarterback. And I don't want to say it was just because of his team, because it wasn't, because he did have a lot of mentionable players around him, and he just never got there. So I think going into the season, maybe you were a little hesitant, but, you see this new talent, and it really did pay off. He showed his worth. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, this is his second year.
Yeah.
That was his second year.
Right.
And so, I mean, he really put the fire on. You saw him move that ball. I mean, downfield, he was getting those points. And, I think as a Charger fan, you like to see that. Yes, you did lose some of your players, but at the same time, Eckler played lights out. You know what I'm saying? So I think they are a very good team, and this is the problem is this is going to be a very good division. So going into next year, is the team that we saw this year going to be able to do much in this division? And realistically, one's top seed's going to get the playoff spot, right? And then, I mean, potentially this division does have the potential for all of them to make it into the playoffs if they really play like that. We'll talk about that more, but I think as like a Charger fan starting this year, that really was your question. I think that there was maybe a minor sense of hesitation because Eckler really wasn't producing like he was supposed to the previous year before that, but I think you really saw some fire in them early on, and it really did propel through the whole season.
Yeah, no, I agree. They were very, when you break it down, they were very average team. But they had
This
parts
season,
where the Chargers.
this previous season that we just had,
I mean, well,
they
they
were
turned
average.
out they were average. What, 5-4 at home, 4-4 on the road. They were 3-3 in the division. They were 6-6 in their conference.
Okay, I guess as far as like statistic goes, I guess it does sound average. It was just they were one of the teams that I watched, and so I really didn't think they played average.
No, I thought they were definitely above what their record
But saying the
showed.
record right there, like I just need to shut my mouth and say that they're average, I guess, man.
I mean, dude, you can take stats and you can spin them to
It's
fit
both. Stats are important, but at
anything
the
you
same
want.
time, the eye test is
Yeah,
just as important.
but I think out of all the teams, no, I'll stick with it.
Are we
Out
starting
of
with the
all the
Chargers?
teams, yeah, well, out of all the teams, I think the Chargers are the most likely team to do much better next season than they did this season.
Okay.
Because the Chiefs,
When did they finish?
like,
They finished third?
they finished third at 9-8.
Okay.
The Raiders 10-7. We'll talk about them when we get there, but I don't think they do 10-7 again.
I
But
think they probably do maybe more.
maybe because they've had a big free agency.
I think they'll finish third again, man. Maybe with a better record.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they'll and they have a little bit addressed the defense because nobody in the division gave up more points than the Chargers did.
Mm-hmm.
But they have addressed that. But the Chargers, I mean, there ain't a whole lot. Like I would say, hey, you need to mass overhaul because they're better than a 9-8 team. They didn't look like a 9-8 team to me. Most of the year they looked like they were going to be quite. I had them as shooing for the playoff spot. At one point, I thought they might win it over the Chiefs.
For a second there, and then the Chiefs really did turn it around.
The Chiefs turned it on and made everybody
They
look
did.
like
I
idiots.
mean, whatever was going on at the beginning of the Chiefs seasons this last year, they really did turn that around. I think, if you are the Chargers, like you said, they do need a defense. They've bettered their offense, but I mean, at the same time, the Chargers really haven't ever been known for a strong defense. They've always been a gung-ho, kick-a offense. And the problem is they also pass downfield a lot too, and they get a lot of interceptions, which hasn't changed since Herbert took over either. So I think they need to change their strategy a little bit. They have these players that can do these feats, but at the same time, I think you need to buckle down a little bit more. Realize that you don't always have to throw it downfield. Get that 5 yards. Make the defense wonder what you're doing
because they have a good running game.
Yeah, and they have a good quarterback.
And yet Herbert is a fine quarterback. Yeah. Like they're in a decent position.
Yeah.
That I think. Do they win the division? No. It's probably the Chiefs division. I'm sorry, but
maybe
it's like we always used to do with the Patriots until they're beaten.
And what? Allen's still their number 1 RB. I mean, wide receiver. Is he still playing with them this year?
Who?
Keenan Allen?
Oh, he should be, I think, right?
Okay, that's what I thought. But even then, as good as he is, man, he is injury prone, and he's getting towards the latter part of his career. I only say that because of the amount of injuries. So, like, how many more years can you really get injured and keep playing?
Correct.
But I think their main focus is defense and slowing down the ball. Eckler has proven to be a good running back, so utilize him. Keep the ball on the ground a little bit more. The face you made was like, nah, I don't agree with that. But I just
I was just laughing at my late.
The switch over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, damn, I forgot my banner.
But that's what I would do if I was the Chargers: is put some men on the ground. Your defense needs to get stronger. Because at the same time you have a good offense, but them on the field constantly isn't going to do you any justice. You need to be able to slow down. That's the other side of the ball. And I think that's where that comes in. The problem is they got so close. They're probably not going to get the best draft picks. They're probably like low 20s, late teens.
They're going to have to hit their draft picks. They're going to have to hit free agency good. And I think they have. They've done some pretty exciting stuff. But let's move to the winner of this division, who is starting to really, really quickly annoy the hell out of me. I'm not putting them on any level as a certain other team, but I mean, they had a good year, 12-5. They didn't have the best defense. I mean, we railed on the defense quite a bit over the course of the season, but they only lost 12 games. But it's pretty easy to do when you score 480 points. Like, you're going to win a lot of games, man.
No, that's true.
They were great at home. Like, is championship teams, they're really good at home. You got to be good at home. They were darn near flawless at home. Their division, they ran that division 5-1 in the division. Of course, you had Pat Mahomes, Travis Kelce. They're like, their defense improved, but it has a lot of work to do. There was a little period of time, like I mentioned, during the Chargers where I thought they might not win the division, but they quickly turned that around and said, we're the Chiefs, dude. So,
that's true.
And they still had a darn good year. What do you take from the Chiefs this past season?
As far as I'm concerned with the Chiefs, I thought this year really kind of showed what the Chiefs were, and I hate saying that because I just feel like I'm a hater, but I'm not. Yeah, maybe I am, but at the same time, I'm going to give them their due respect. They've gotten this far 4 years in a row. He is a great quarterback. They made the right choice of paying him that much money. My fear this year going in, if I was a Chiefs fan, is we just let go of our number one wide receiver. Yeah, Pringle's coming on. Yes, Kelce is probably the best tight end in the league.
Man,
and that's probably not going to change. But you lost your downfield threat, and you were stumbling at the beginning of the year to really come on. You really don't have a solid running back. It changes pretty regularly over the last couple of years. You haven't found anybody solid. And the problem is that's because you're finishing so high that you're not getting a good draft pick to get a running back. And as far as free agency, you're already paying these guys so much. It's hard to really pick up a decent running back. I'm scared going into this year if I was a Chiefs fan because of those factors.
Scared?
I don't. You got to think some of those Pat Mahomes crazy throws. Yeah, they were awesome, but can somebody else but Tyreek Hill catch those passes? I mean, the dude is legitimately probably. I mean, I think Cooper Kupp's the best wide receiver in the league, but he's definitely 1-2, definitely argument. You know, um,
Yeah.
so it's just I think Cooper Kupp puts in more work, but I don't really actually see the work. I just know what I hear. But as far as that basis is like, you're not getting paid that much and going to the Dolphins unless there wasn't something going on there. And I mean, this could be a change of tides for these guys. We're going to see how this really plays out. I mean, they didn't, I don't know what to say. I just feel like, I don't know. I just don't think that everything is there like they think it has been going
Mm-hmm.
into that, because when's the last time they went to the Super Bowl? I mean, yeah, they won a Super Bowl, and after that, everybody got paid. But now these players are leaving one by one by one. Yes, Mahomes is an elite quarterback. I won't take that away from him, but is he going to be able to hold on to that? And that's the scary thing because Kelsey, how many more years does he really have? Yeah, I know these guys are lasting a lot longer, but at the same time, if you got one main threat, who you going to guard? And I mean,
Well,
hopefully we
well, who should you be guarding?
hopefully we
Who
learn to guard
should you
Kelsey
be
next
guarding?
season.
You should be
Um,
guarding Travis Kelsey, man.
but then again, Pringle really come into his own, and I think, I mean, is he going to be their number one? Probably, right? I mean, now that he's gone,
Oh, well.
now Tyreek's gone. I mean, Pringle's probably their number one. They're not going to be able to pick up a player of that caliber in free agency. No way.
Well, I mean, they got Marquez Scantling
Okay.
and Juju.
Okay. Juju is a good addition. He is. Um, who knows? Maybe they'll win again. I think people are seeing the cracks in the Kansas City team, and they're exploiting them. It's cool to make it almost there, but if you don't make it there, does it really? I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but at the same time, you can get right to the finish line, not win, and you're pretty much the same as last place, unfortunately. Um,
No,
so,
dude.
I mean, they got the elements there, but I don't think is it the conviction? I hate saying that because they seem like they really want to win. So I hate saying it's the conviction. But as far as I'm concerned, will they win the division? It's hard for me to say that they won't. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Unless I know it sounds crazy, but there are two teams that might overtake them that we're going to talk about here pretty shortly. Uh, and who knows? I don't have as much faith as people. I guess I think I should have in Kansas City, but I've always felt like that. So maybe that's just me.
No, yeah. No, I get it. It I mean, they're a big shot team who for a little while when the big shots aren't working, it almost seems like things aren't working out for them.
I mean, people were casting them to the shadows mid-season last year.
Yeah, because
After all
they're a
that,
big play team, but the big play wasn't working, and they
mm-mm.
were going to die by the big play. It didn't matter, and they weren't. But I mean, you know, the cat's out of slide, kind of. They turned it around, had a great season, 12-5, but they didn't win, so it really, really don't matter. But they've done a lot this offseason so far as free agency is gone, which at the end we'll circle back, talk a little bit about some of these free agents with a little bit of time we have, and then do some more next week too, and then probably a whole show dedicated because there's a lot to rant and rave about over some of the free agents. But let's bring up one of those other teams you were talking about. Well, first, before we do that, thank you everybody for joining, watching Napoon. Hi, once again, sir. Always appreciate your support. Hope your day's been all right. I know you've had better days, but yeah. things aren't all that bad. But anyway, the Raiders. I'm mean. I'm very, very mean.
I'm a
I'm
little
very
excited for this team. I'm not gonna lie.
okay. This team has got a little bit excited, but the quarterback doesn't excite me. There was a time where I thought I like him and his brother. I like both of them. I was like, he'll be a good quarterback, and then I was wrong, and so I'm like, bro, you're Tony Romo.
I mean, I don't think the Raiders ever gave him the opportunity as far as skilled players are concerned. And he just got the wide receiver that he played with in college. So, this and they did, what was it, 10-5 they got this season or something like that? That was the record.
Yes.
So,
Well, 7.
Oh, 10-7. Yeah, that makes more sense, obviously.
Yeah.
Or 10-6, right? Because you get 1 week off.
7. There's 18 weeks because
Oh, I forgot about that extra week. Yeah,
they
you're
added a
right.
week because they care about player safety.
No,
So
you're right. You gotta care about those safety protocols.
yeah.
But I think this is a team. If there was a team to overtake the Chiefs in this division, it's probably going to be them. They need to improve their defense, but I think it's going to be them.
And this is another team who's they've been very, very busy.
Oh yeah,
I
think they scored, man. I do.
In free agency, and their biggest addition isn't even out of free agents. Even out of free agency, it was a trade.
Yep. And one thing I know about Devontae Adams is, man, he goes up for those downfield throws. Aaron Rodgers is a gunslinger, man. He throws them downfield just like Derek Carr. So I know he's going to be adequate, if not outstanding, as a Raider. And they already have chemistry from back in the day. I think if Derek Carr, this is Derek Carr's year to really run at it. If this year doesn't play out for him, I don't know if he's ever.
Derek Carr might be done.
This might be the last hurrah.
Or in Vegas, at least, is a Raider.
I don't know. I don't know if he'll continue.
You think it's right? You don't think anybody
if you get paid,
would?
of course, you're going to continue. But at the same time, you've been a Raider your whole career. They've given you pretty much a decade. I don't think that he's going to go anywhere unless they let him go. And they finally started building a team around him. Waller's a great tight end. They got a great wide receiver. Who's running the ball for him?
Well, it was Jacobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still running the ball for him?
I don't know what that situation is going to end up like, because
this will probably be his third year, right? So he'll probably will run for him one more year.
Yeah. Well, 2, because it's the 5th year. It's a club option.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they brought in backup for him.
Okay.
So far, this in free agency, depending on what you think, but they brought in Bolton from New England.
Really? He's not bad. He's not bad.
Right. And Amir Abdullah from Carolina.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. They might be. The thing is, the Raiders have always been one of those teams that are upset team. They lose their games that they don't need to lose, but they win those games that people think that it's impossible for them to win.
And they could jack up
to destroy their
crap
perfect season
that.
2 years ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're going to be better. So I give them at least a game or 2 more.
So you think they'll? So
they're a playoff team, I think, this year.
You're thinking the division, everybody improves, but the hierarchy won't change.
No,
everybody's going to stay in order, but they're all just going to have better seasons, most likely.
I would honestly say I think the Raiders might finish first this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's see what you say when the prediction show comes around for the 2022 season.
There'll be more information. But, as far as what I'm basing that on right now, I feel the Raiders have gained weapons while the Chiefs have lost weapons. And
no, they're definitely doing moves, which is exciting and all that. It'll just determine on how this organization does it, because this organization hasn't been having the best things go for it.
they've struggled over the last couple of years. I really thought they were going to let go of Carr when he lost that last game in Oakland, but they stuck with him. So obviously they're committed to him. They're getting better players for him. So, I mean, if you believe in them and you're getting them better players surrounding them, obviously you expect the team to do better.
Of course.
And I know I keep talking about the Chiefs, but I ponder why they let go of Tyreek. Like, I don't – it doesn't make sense. I mean, their cap space was fine. So what was going on with that, Did he want more than they could pay him at the end of this year? I don't know. But it's weird. So I don't know the ins and outs of behind the scenes. I just feel like the Raiders are doing better as far as producing a better team for this next season than the Chiefs are.
Right. Yep. And bringing up the rear, but who themselves have had a bit of an interesting offseason. The Denver Broncos, I just didn't think they were very, very good at all.
They had the best defense in the division this last year.
I mean, they
did.
They did, and that was losing Von Miller.
Yeah.
Also, so it's a good defense. You would think if they got the offense sorted, that this could be a very, very interesting team. It's just, do they sort out the offense? Will they be able to? And will the changes that they made do anything? But I mean, outside of the defense, watching Denver wasn't very fun.
No, the games were not very fun watching them. You're right about that.
They got some excited. You can be excited about Sutton. He's not too bad.
And now you have a better quarterback. I
you do have a better quarterback. I mean, I've never been his biggest fan, but he is definitely an upgrade.
I heard an article. I mean, I watched an interview where he said that he wants to play for another 12 to 14 years, and he's predicting that he's going to win 3 more Super Bowls.
We're talking about the incoming quarterback.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you have to have the confidence.
You got to have the confidence.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't look like he's phased out or anything like that. He's still moving around like he was. Obviously something was going on with the Hawks where they just weren't happy anymore. So maybe this change of pace will be good for them. It's definitely going to be better for Denver. Their team did improve because of this. They had the best defense, and now you've improved the offense. You may move up a spot. Are they going to beat the Chiefs? That's really hard for me to say yes. Will they beat the Chargers? I think so. And I've already said that I thought the Raiders were going to be number 1, so I don't think they're going to beat the Raiders. But they may finish 3rd in the division. They may have enough wins to be a wild card, like the lowest wild card that is available. But I think then again, it is going to take more than just this season for them to get where they want to be. Is Melvin Gordon still their running back, or is he gone?
Melvin Gordon might have been.
I thought he stepped out.
Yeah.
So
he might have.
Maybe they can draft a running back. Sutton is pretty good. but the defense was the best in the division. But what does that really say? But
and they bolstered the defense,
so that's cool
for free agents.
One thing I know about Denver, though, is when they had a stellar defense, they won that Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. So
it usually is.
If one thing that I can say
defense,
is, like, if any team does it, I believe that they could do it because they've done it before.
Defense has, and it does. Russell Wilson is going to be the Denver QB without a doubt. He's walking into that job.
It could be a fun year in that division. That's all I know.
I think so.
A lot of good players.
Yeah, so you have Denver. They're adding Randy Gregory from Dallas.
Okay.
They picked up another 2 defensive tackles in DJ Jones from San Francisco and Deshaun Williams. Re-signed him to an extension. Okay. So they're keeping him. They went Alex Singleton from Philly. They're bringing him in at the linebacker position. And Kwan Williams at corner from San Francisco. Bringing 2 guys in from San Francisco. 3.
And that was like an elite defense this season. So,
and then they're bringing in 2 older guards with some experience. So they're looking to improve the team.
Younger cats with older veterans. Who knows, man? Maybe they'll surprise us and really beast up this division. But I think it really depends on how Russell acclimates to this system. And as far as what I've seen, he's really eager and willing to make this work. And there's a lot to be said for that.
No, you're right. That it is. It is. Denver is interesting. They really are. And then let's swing back to the Chiefs, what they're doing this offseason so far. They're bringing in, like we said, Marquez Valdez-Scantling from Green Bay. Which Green Bay just losing.
I know.
Losing people, man.
Whatever is going on over there, something bad's happening. They're just like, man, I just don't think the team believed in Aaron anymore, I guess. I think that's what I'm saying. It really leaves me to believe that he threw that game.
Dude, that's
because all your main dudes are like, all right, dude, peace out, or I don't want to do this anymore on this team. And there's one thing I know about Green Bay. It's Green Bay is a diehard team, fan base, everything.
Oh,
that is a lifestyle, not a team.
Correct.
So in order for them to do that, something was going on there.
Right.
And I think Green Bay is going to they're going to regret. I think their biggest fear was that Aaron Rodgers signed for another team and won the Super Bowl without them. And so they signed him for some crazy, I know, not some crazy amount, $200 million for 4 years or something like that.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I think that was a mistake on their part, especially losing all these players. I mean, the second Adams jumped ship, you knew something was wrong. And as you see more and more of them fall, then you just can only assume that Aaron Rodgers is super happy, right? Because he's going to make some money for retirement. But Green Bay is in a
his weapons are going away. So when we have talked about Kansas City, what they've done, I mean, defensive side of the ball, they're bringing in Justin Reid from Houston. It's an all right addition, I think. And then at safety, they're also bringing Deion Bush from Chicago. We had problems with Chicago. They're bringing in.
They gave up their offense or a key player in their offense to bolster their defense. And that was their problem last year. Is they didn't have a defense.
Right. Yeah. They're bringing in 2 defensive tackles. They're bringing in an inside linebacker. So they looks like they brought in some of that. They're bringing in linemen, 2 tackles. They did bring in Ronald Jones from Tampa Bay.
I know. Which is crazy.
I don't mean to laugh. I'm not meaning to laugh at that. I'm really, really not. No disrespect.
He really hasn't had a record-setting season. I mean, he does have a Super Bowl ring, and I'm not trying to knock him, but he doesn't. I guess he puts on when he needs to put on, but at the same time, that's what I'm saying. Kansas City, get a running back, bro.
And obviously, Tampa Bay feels the same way about Ronald Jones as you do, because they
stuck with him for 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? They did. I think who was it? I think it was Doug Martin was the running back before him.
Doug Martin, man. I remember the Duggernaut, dude.
You know
he was great, man. Oh, he was really good.
He was good. And I mean, he was good. I think he was better than Ronald, but at the same time, he just played for a team that wasn't as good as the team that Ronald played for. Unfortunately, that's just how it plays out, But the thing about you played with Tom Brady, and Tom Brady's really never had a solid running back. So obviously it wasn't hurting Tampa at the time. But I don't think it's going to bolster Kansas City adding him.
See, I was just about to make this comment here that so far, we talked about what Denver did. I like Denver's free agency a lot better than Kansas City.
I think Kansas City's almost panicked moved.
I'm not overly impressed with what
it
they're
felt like
doing.
They weren't happy with the way their seasons have gone the last couple of years, and so they were like, all right, we need to make a change. Who can we get the most money from and is the easiest to replace? And I'm not saying Tyreek Hill's easy to replace, but he would definitely be easier to replace than Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
And those would be the 2 players on offense you could get the most money for.
Mm-hmm.
And so obviously, that's just what happened.
Yeah, definitely.
And so they did that. And, if Dolphins come out and are just the boss, then we know that it was Tyreek Hill that really was Kansas City. And if he doesn't, then I guess it was Mahomes or McShrub.
Right. And speaking of getting help, we'll circle back over here to the Chargers. They're bringing in three defensive tackles that they brought in from free agency. So there's definitely, you can see where a focus is with this Charger team. Get that interior defensive line going. So, exciting for them. Brought in JC Jackson, quarterback from New England. So get a little help there covering on the outside. Brought in a decent backup quarterback, maybe. That's if Chase Daniel can make the team.
I don't think they're really worried about quarterback. I guess it's just barring injury.
Yeah, and then they bring in Gerald Everett, which I would is definitely an upgrade for a number 2 tight end, I would assume, because I don't think he's being brought in to be the starting tight end, because I think they're happy at the tight end position. I know there were injury issues a little bit there.
I like the 3 defensive ends. I think that was a good call. That's something that they definitely need to do. Because, that's like I said before, the Chargers have never really been known for defense. It's always been offense. And they've always almost got there, but never quite. And, why is that? So if it was my guess to ponder, I would say it's because your offense is on the field a good 80% of the time.
Yeah. But, yeah, they're making changes. Trying to make action in free agency. But nobody's been more active in free agency than the Raiders, man. Like, they have done amazing. What is this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10,
They
12,
definitely played the
14,
field.
16, 18, 20. Technically 20 free agents, but three of them are extensions.
Okay.
This team is going to look different.
I think it's going to be fire. I think this is what this team is. If the cap ever disappears, this is going to be the team to be reckoned with. There's so much money in that city. They've almost got there every year. And I'm not a big Derek Carr fan, but, at the same time, there isn't a reason to keep him unless the actual team, the coaching staff believed in him. So maybe they finally got him what he needed. And I hate using Stafford as an example because he changed teams, but he never really had a team around him either. And then he finally got one. Look what happened. I do think Stafford's better, but I think they're almost the same kind of quarterback as far as like underachieving, but everybody thought they were going to be super great. And so it will be fun to see how Derek Carr takes this, and hopefully he runs with it. I thought last year when he made it to the playoffs that that was gonna be his year, and if he didn't do it, he wasn't gonna make it. But this team, this coming up year, is much better than the team he was on this previous year.
It's gonna look a lot different for sure. He's gonna have arguably, easily the second best wide receiver in the game.
Definitely top 3 for sure. Definitely top 3. There's no way about it. Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp, and Tyreek Hill, I think, are the top 3 wide receivers in the league. Jamar Chase is pretty close. He's making a run for money.
He does.
He's
look
definitely
good,
top 5. But
yeah, and that's just Vegas. Little shout out to Vernon Butler. We'll miss you. Play good, but not good enough.
You're gonna get that Super Bowl ring. It needs to be on the Bills.
That's right. He left, and now we're gonna win, and the poor guy won't get his ring.
I think they'll definitely be they're gonna give it a run for the money. I think they're definitely making the playoffs. Now, how far they get in the playoffs is how much chemistry they build with each other through the season, and injuries, of course.
So far, if you're gonna rank these 3 teams, we're not going to do how we think we're going to finish them, but if you're going to rank their off season so far,
off-season
pickups,
you're looking at Raiders, Denver, Chargers, and Kansas
City at the bottom.
I really think I don't know what they were doing, what they were thinking. Maybe I'm not that intellectual when it comes to football as they are, but just looking from an outside perspective, I don't know what they were doing. I don't think that was a smart move. I think that they weakened their team, and I get what they were trying to do. I do. They got rid of Hill so they could bolster their defense. But man, that was a lot to give up in that player. Like that one player was worth all those players they gained.
I mean,
Plus,
at least you can go out and get a Juju because
you're right. You're right. Juju
at
Smith
least there was a time where we thought,
is good.
hey, but it's like Tyreek Hill is what we thought Juju was going to be.
Or maybe Juju just never, because as much as I love Roethlisberger, he was phasing out of his career. So maybe all Juju needs is a younger quarterback. And then he will be that caliber wide receiver that we think he was going to be, you know? But at the same time, when he was coming on, I think that Pittsburgh got a lot of really good wide receivers right then. You know?
They did,
Claypool,
right?
that dude that you always pick up. What's his name? The other wide receiver. I don't remember his name, man. But you had him in this fantasy league this last year.
Did I?
Yeah.
I can't remember. I guess I have
But you know, all that plays into it. And then Juju got hurt, right? Wasn't he hurt? So
yeah.
And so that affected his playability, obviously. So who knows? I mean, Juju might just fit right into that system and all of a sudden good to go. But like Mr. Smeal said,
Yeah,
I really do think that is a big mistake that they made getting rid of Hill. It was dumb.
Yeah.
The dude literally caught catches that most receivers couldn't, and definitely bolstered his Mahomes' stats. I mean, I'm not saying he's not good, but
right,
dude, I think that was a mistake, and they're gonna sorely regret it. I could be eating crow come beginning of the season, but I don't think so.
What was your take, and were you surprised going on just a little bit of free agency pickups from outside of the AFC West from divisions we covered earlier, but the conversation and time frame didn't allow us to delve too much into what they've been doing. Plus, it was early on into free agency, so we kind of purposely left it alone a little bit also. But Bobby Wagner to the Rams.
I just want to talk about that awesome preemptive that I sent out last week. Dude, I think it's, man, watching his highlight reels, all I can think is, man, the rich get richer.
Dude, no kidding, man.
Because dang, man, dude, that dude is a beast. I mean, he's, you know, he's not as big as some of these dudes, but man, he is fast and he is mean in like a good kind of way. You know,
right?
And he knocks those dudes down. You watch him, and it's just like it's hitting a brick wall. The dude's probably, you know what, 230, 240, but it's all fucking muscle. And it's just like, dude, I mean, they're only going to be better. The Rams are only going to be better. They did not. That's the one team you didn't want to improve if you're anybody else besides the Rams fan. But all they did was improve.
I think they did, because it's one thing to have Von Miller on the outside.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to have Bobby Wagner.
Well, because Von Miller was like, that's what he was 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? But dude, this guy has years of his career left. He doesn't look like he's slowing down a bit. Right. And he played for a team who was suffering, and he played that high. Imagine when he's on a team that's winning, what he's going to be able to do.
Right. And speaking of team, finally being on a team that's winning, I know another free agency the Rams did pick up on the offensive side of the ball. Gonna make my dad very happy. Then bringing in Allen Robinson.
Oh, shit.
Failed to resign with Chicago. Shit, Chicago couldn't bring him back.
So Odell's gone, man.
So Allen Robinson signs 3 years, $46.5 million.
Shit. I wonder what was the reason for not re-signing Odell? You think he wanted too much money?
Dude, you're not hearing anything. I think negotiations.
That's what I'm saying.
Going on. Negotiations are happening. I don't know who
You think he's going to be on that team again?
I don't know. I just find it crazy that we're not hearing nothing.
That's what I'm saying. But you're signing all these other wide receivers. So what's the point?
All these other one. Oh,
you have Robert Woods. You have Cooper Kupp. Now you have Allen Robinson. I mean,
they brought in Brandon Powell. Well, they brought back Brandon Powell.
So I mean, are you really? Odell's going to be worth more. He's going to be the second highest paid wide receiver on that team if you re-sign him.
Yeah.
Which they didn't really have that much cap space to begin with. I know they lost a lot of players to free agency, but I think they signed the ones they wanted to. And then some guys just were phasing out of their career. But you signed the dude for a $1 million contract for half a year, and then now there's nothing. It doesn't look for me, it doesn't look good for Odell being back on that team.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't. But I think they have another shot. I mean, I think they have a very highly likely chance of being the next Super Bowl champions again. I mean, the team isn't degraded like any of the other high-ranked teams. They've only boosted their team.
No,
their offense was already lights out, and okay, our defense was pretty much the best defense in the league almost, and we just improved it.
No, yeah, I know who Vegas came out of the gate with odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
go Bills.
Yeah,
but just like you said, I know it's too early for prediction, but if you have to predict it, how can you not go with the Rams? Like everything they were really, really good at, I think they got better.
Yeah.
Because you have an Aaron Donald. You don't really need a Von Miller. You could use a Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
A big presence inside. And, well, what do you know? Boom.
Got him.
They did it. We don't know how the whole
Odell. They're like, yo, dog, you want to win a Super Bowl? And he's like, hell yeah, I want to win a Super Bowl. They're like, all right, come over here. What was it like?
Right.
Was it? It was a pretty like decent contract. It wasn't crappy.
Right. Yeah.
You know
the Odell Beckham contract is going slow. Hey, Allen Robinson.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they were like actually attached to Odell.
Right, just going to negotiate, and hey, if we can get something worked out, cool. If we can't, well, we're still going to do our business in the meantime. So it's your call, Odell. You do your thing. But I understand how his contract is a different contract to work out, because imaging rights for him is a lot different than any other other player in the NFL.
I think as far as though is like skill, I think Allen Robinson is a better wide receiver than Odell. He's played on way worse teams, and he's managed to still keep his name on radar. I think he's a great wide receiver, and that's the thing. I think you're looking at a team like the Rams, and you got Cooper Kupp, who's teaching these guys how to be elite wide receivers, and then Stafford, who has the ability, and he believes in his wide receivers, you know, so he has the ability to throw, and so you got Cooper Kupp, and I hate saying that it's not just one guy, but you got the best wide receiver in the league. What else do you really need? You need people that accentuate him and take some people off of him so they're not double teaming him all the time. But Woods is a great wide receiver. Allen Robinson is a great wide receiver. You got two solid RB2s.
Dude, they have
wide receiver 2s, wideouts. So like, you know, what's the point of trying to stress yourself about writing a contract up for a guy who, you know, I mean, I'm not saying he's a journeyman because he's not, but he's not. I don't think he wants more than he's worth. And I think you got to take a step back when you're on a team like that and just go, I want to win another Super Bowl. I don't need a huge contract, because you know what's going to happen when I have 2 Super Bowls? I'm going to get a better contract next year with 2 Super Bowls.
No kidding. What do you think about Xavier Woods bouncing out of Minnesota, not re-signing him, and then coming down to Carolina? I thought he would stay in Minnesota. I think that's a big loss
for Minnesota. Yeah,
Minnesota.
but I just don't think. I think Minnesota's gone. I know they changed head coaches this year, but I think those players that were like really elite on that team are just tired of that franchise. They want to do something different. They want to get out of there because on one hand, you have a new head coach, so maybe that's going to present you with different opportunities. But at the other hand, you've wasted how many years of your career at this organization who has gotten you nothing, not even a playoff run. So I would jump ship. Unless you're like a veteran who's phasing out, then I understand that. But if you got the talent and other teams are knocking on your door, I don't see the purpose or I don't see why you would be scared of trying something new.
Right.
I mean, Kirk Cousins is not the answer to Minnesota, so I'm sorry, but like as far as that's concerned, I mean, Cook is a great running back, but it's more than just a running back to win a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. We've seen that time and time again. Derrick Henry's the best running back in the league, and he can't take Tennessee to a Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah. Going back to Green Bay and their troubles, they couldn't keep St. Brown.
They couldn't keep anybody, man.
St. Brown didn't resign. He went to Chicago. Like, how bad is it from Green Bay where a guy goes from Green Bay to Chicago?
Pretty bad, right?
Because I don't think they brought in Trevor Siemian to win the job. Or is Trevor Siemian going to be the Chicago quarterback next year?
It's not Trubisky anymore?
It might be.
Okay.
I'm just giving the organization a little bit of stick.
I know. What's his name? The defensive player.
The one, dude. Top notch.
Khalil Mack.
Khalil Mack. There you go.
He's gone.
Right.
He's not a Bear anymore. So.
Oh, there's.
Yeah, the Bears are pretty much struggling right there with Green Bay. But I'm really curious to see like how bad Green Bay does this year.
Right. And I know everybody was concerned. Cincinnati did sign Eli Apple to a 1-year extension. So Eli Apple is still going to be a Cincinnati Bengal.
No, what I heard was because of the contract that Deshaun Watson signed, that moving down the road, that it's going to be hard to keep Burrow with the Bengals when his contract ends next year. I mean, if these contracts keep getting higher and higher, of course, I mean, that's crazy amount of money, dude.
Dude.
That's an insane amount of money. And so it's just, when do we say that's enough? You know, Tom Brady has 9 rings, and the dude, I mean, not 9, but he has 7 rings, and is it 6 or 7? 7.
Yeah, I know it's too many.
And then, and that dude always took pay cuts. And that dude probably has more money than all those dudes. I mean, realistically.
Right. Oh, yeah. Man, I mean, my Bills doing some good work too, man. We brought in O.J. Howard.
It's not bad.
Bringing in Jamison Crowder.
Just like
I don't know.
Stealing players from your dad, stealing players from Tampa.
I don't know. Von Miller.
Really? That's where Von Miller ended up?
Von Miller, yeah.
Damn.
We brought in
you know what? He's got the magic, dog. He might get you a Super Bowl.
Dude, baby. Oh, man.
Damn, I can't believe Crowder got taken, man.
Yeah.
So who's on the Jets now? It's worth a damn. Sorry, Mr. Snail. I have the utmost respect for you.
Houston
is a bad team.
Marlon Mack is a Texan now.
Really?
Yeah, he couldn't work out a deal in Indy.
Well, I mean, Jonathan Taylor is the spot. He was just like just a recovery guy.
They re-signed Royce Freeman.
Okay.
I almost forgot that they got him.
Man, Houston's gonna be so bad this year.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they are.
Who's throwing the ball for him?
Houston. See, they they brought in Kyle Allen from Washington. Maybe in the draft they'll figure something out. But they brought Kyle Allen, and yeah, that'll work. Joe Namath now.
I was like, okay.
The Joe Namath now.
They're probably better than the players that are on the team right now.
Right. Let's see. Kristen Kirk didn't resign with Arizona.
No, he went somewhere else.
Jacksonville.
Shoot, man, those Florida teams are just getting better and better.
Evan Ingram didn't resign in New York, signed a 1-year deal in said Jacksonville.
I'm not really believing Evan Ingram.
Yeah.
I think he was all hype. Man, it fell through.
I thought he was good, could have been good.
I mean, granted, even because he started with Eli, right? That last year, Eli is when he started, and
I believe so.
So after he left, I thought maybe he could be something, but no, he just proved to be exactly what he was when Eli was there.
Yep,
it's like Saquon.
Yeah, right. Teddy's making another team move. He's leaving Denver, going to Miami.
Really? See, I didn't think Tua was going to stay too long. If Teddy's coming up behind you, you're done, bro.
No, they're not bringing him in for nothing. Your job is safe, I think.
I don't think so.
I think it is. They're not bringing in Teddy to be the quarterback. Tua's their man.
Maybe. I'll probably give them the first half of the year, but then after that, depending on where their spot is.
Yeah, Jabril Peppers, I think it's huge. Leaving the Giants, going to New England.
Oh shit.
Andy Dalton, welcome back.
No way, he's back at Cincy?
Oh no, just welcome back to the league, man. He's in New Orleans.
Yeah, but Winston, I thought, was the quarterback.
Yeah, for being the backup.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out John Feliciano leaving Buffalo to go block for Saquon Barkley.
Oh man.
And pass shout out Matt Breida leaving Buffalo to go back up Saquon Barkley. So he should get a bit of running time.
Maybe
we'll see.
Before he gets hurt.
Right. Were there any free agency?
No, we've been kind of talking about them.
Outside of what we
nothing too crazy. I think we've mentioned all the ones that are super crazy.
Trubisky's on his way to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
We didn't re-sign him because he was backing up Josh Allen.
Yeah, I thought
Chicago moved on.
I thought Mason Rudolph was going to be the quarterback, but I guess Trubisky.
Did you really?
Well, that's what they were talking about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure my mom was like, God, no.
I mean, Trubisky isn't that much better. I guess he has more playing time. That's pretty much it. But, I mean, we'll see how it goes. It's a building year for all these, elite teams, man. It's the end of an era, and unfortunately, we're about to see a whole new era of different teams that are going to be the highlight teams, at least for the next couple of years.
Fournette keeps his job. He signs a 3-year deal to stay in Tampa Bay.
He actually did pretty decent.
It looks like Bernard will be staying. Well, he's still a free agent. Nothing's happened.
Gosh,
Nothing
man,
on
how
yet.
long is that dude gonna be in the league, right?
Dude.
He's probably one of the best number twos, though, that there is.
He's
It's
sticking
just like
around.
he's been there for a while.
Yeah, Austin Hooper leaving Cleveland, going to Tennessee. He was he was in. Was he a Charger before Cleveland?
Who?
Hooper.
Amari Cooper. He played on the Cowboys.
No, not Amari Cooper. The tight end Hooper.
What's his first name?
Austin.
Oh, Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper.
I thought you were saying Cooper.
Oh.
He was on Atlanta.
Oh, that's where he was before Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I think we've mentioned all the free agents and pickups that are like worth mentioning. It's the AFC West, I think, is going to be a very good division to watch this season. I think not one, if not two, maybe three of them will be in the playoffs.
You think Julio lands anywhere?
I hope he lands on a bench somewhere. He's not good.
He's still a free agent.
Well, he probably will be.
Jarvis Landry
I don't believe in that cat.
There.
He's too injury prone, and maybe it's because he played on Matt Ryan's team forever. But maybe Atlanta will be better this year, but they've already let Julio go, right? So
you need a wide receiver: Julio, Landry, Fuller.
Fuller's just like he can't get away from that off-field drama that keeps him from playing all season.
Yeah, Joe Hayden is still a free agent. Stephon Gilmore has not signed with anybody. Tyrann Mathieu hasn't signed. Do you think Matthew or Gilmore, you think one of them signs with the Rams and get a corner?
I don't see the point, but if I had to pick one, Gilmore.
Right.
I don't see the point. I mean, Jarvis, I think, deserves a spot. He's got the best hand in the league. He doesn't have downfield potential.
Yeah, but he ain't. The Rams aren't going after Jarvis Landry.
No, they're not. But if I was looking for a wide receiver that I could trust in the short
go
pass,
Landry over Fuller.
Fuller's going to get you more points. Jarvis is going to get you, I think, downfield more often.
Yeah. You go Stephon Gilmore or Joe Hayden if you're going after a corner. You want Hayden or Gilmore?
Man, I like Gilmore.
But Hayden was supposed to be so good and he was on Cleveland, so we tried to ignore it.
I just feel like last year he didn't. That's what I'm saying. Last year he didn't really ball out, so it's hard for me to say that. But you were on a bad team, so at the same time, I do take that in consideration. Oh man, dude. I don't think it'll make a difference either way, but I guess Hayden, if you had to, like, there's a gun to your head, you had to make a decision. To back up Ramsey, right? We're talking about the Rams. So, I mean, you're not
probably play alongside him on the other corner. I know
that's what I'm saying. You're not taking the hard corner. Ramsey's going to take you the hard corner. You're going to play the soft corner. So right. I mean, like, I think Gilmore has more experience, if I'm not mistaken.
I'd rather have Gilmore than Hayden.
But you look at long term, but I guess they're not really looking at long term because I feel
they're
like
both around the same age, so like it's the same. They're both up there, especially for a corner. Yeah. But the last question, the most important one. Who signs Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Yeah, that's like, come on. Do you want to win the Super Bowl or do you not want to win the Super Bowl? That's the real question. No, man, dude. Trust me, dog. You know how I feel about the Fitzbeard, man. Like
I do. He's still out there. So
I think
who would you, out of the teams,
if I had
what
put him
team
on a
would you
team to
recommend?
win the Super Bowl,
No, to recommend, hey, you guys should go get Ryan Fitzpatrick.
I put him back on Miami, but he's not going to do that because they betrayed him. You're throwing 350, 7 games in a row, and then they're going to sit you for a rookie who lost the next 2 games. Okay, whatever. That was a bad call on Miami's part. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. If I had to put him on a team that he could actually get some distance, maybe Indy. Shoot, man. I know he would bolster any team.
That's how you are, man. You're like, the spirit bolster any team. Man.
He would make any team better. But I think he lost out on his opportunity to win a Super Bowl when Miami took him. When Miami sat him. I think that was a big mistake on their part. I still don't understand why they did that. I mean, I get it if he was like flailing around and not doing anything, but 350, he was like he was second quarterback every week there for like 7 weeks in a row.
Oh no, you're a Fitzbeard fan, man. You are the magic. The magic man, dude. Him.
I think if he was on Indy, I think he would do very well. I just think the other teams that I want to put him on, there's no reason to put him on because they already have I want to say Tennessee, but Tannehill's been doing pretty decently. I don't think they'd sit him for a Fitzbeard. Right. I think any other team below where I'm seeing him at, I don't think he will benefit them, but he doesn't have the potential to win a Super Bowl. So I would say a caliber like Indy, a team like Indy, I think would be good. Anywhere else, I think he's just going to be good enough to train your rookie quarterback. But I mean, the dude has a knowledge of the game that not a lot of people have. I mean,
do you expect him to be on a roster next year?
I wouldn't see why not. If Andy Dalton's on the roster, Fitzbeard definitely deserves to be on the roster. I mean,
that's
shit,
fair.
dude.
Do you think it'll be before the draft or probably after
maybe the Cardinals. Maybe he's on the Cardinals if they can't get their situation with Murray fixed. I think that would be a good team for him. I think he has a really good chance of running that division.
Do you think he'll find his job?
Still going to be on the 49ers? I don't know, but that would be another good team for him.
Yeah.
He needs a team that is middle of the pack or just above the middle of the pack, and I think he could win a Super Bowl. I really do. I think he deserves to win a ring. Just one. He's the best journeyman that ever lived in the NFL, and I really do think he got shafted with that Miami thing. I still think about that, man. I don't understand that. I don't.
I think I tried to explain it to you.
But it makes no sense.
I didn't say it made any sense, man. Even back then, I believe when I told you, I was like, it's just how it is in the NFL.
I know what they were doing. They were trying to get Tua acclimated to the system, and then they were going to let him have the show.
And Tua's our quarterback. You're gone.
You're pretty much fighting right there because that was the year that Tom Brady was the first Tampa Bay season for Tom Brady. So they were going to win that division. I mean, it was the Bills and the Dolphins were fighting for number 1 in that division. And then they were like, yo, go sit down. I want to lose the next 2 games.
Yeah.
And then barely squeak by the 3rd game and then lose the next one. And then we're out.
So you think he'll have a job going into the season, or do you think he'll get picked up after the season starts?
I don't think he'll be starting for anybody.
You think he'll be on a roster though week 1?
I wouldn't see why not, unless he just doesn't like the team,
like the offers, and waiting for a better offer. Right on. Cool.
But at this point in his career, man, this will be it. Like if he doesn't,
dude,
if he's not on
he's damn near 40, man.
If he's not on it, he has enough money. He's a smart dude. He's a Harvard grad, for God's sakes.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, the dude. You think the dude's only using his money to buy sports cars? No.
No, he's a smart dude.
Yeah, I mean, he's got enough saved away and invested where he doesn't have to. It's just, is the offer good enough that I could maybe potentially get a ring? Because that's all that's really left. He has really nothing else to prove. I mean, people like Tom Brady and Phillip Rivers and Drew Brees talk about him. So, if they think highly of him, that should say something.
Right on, man. Well, that wraps up the NFL 2021 season review. Well, no, it doesn't. We have the AFC South next week, which will take 5 minutes. So, next week. No, I kid. A lot of bad teams in that division now. So we'll do AFC South, wrap up the 2021 season. We'll go in. We'll get you those free agency pickups for that division. And then we'll talk more about other free agents, what teams have what kind of cap. I suspect we'll have a little bit of time to cover other topics than just the AFC South. So we'll be getting into some of this meat of the offseason, free agents, trades, see how that goes. Maybe discuss some, because we have had some retirements. I know we already talked about the biggest coaching announcement, I feel, as far as retirement. Talked about that last week. But some players that have called it quits and, just keep on moving through the season. Donnie, my friend, thank you.
Thank you, Britt. Thanks for having me on.
Joining me once again
on
a beautiful Wednesday. Everybody in the comments, thank you for joining us here on FTB Sports Through the Table. We look forward every single week to coming on here and chatting with you guys, discussing football, just chatting it up. So we appreciate everybody coming in, watching, subscribe. Appreciate all the support. You guys have been amazing, and we will see y'all next week. Goodbye.